My dad's side of our family has Serbian heritage. In fact, my great-grandparents both migrated to the United States from Serbia. For much of my life, my dad has talked about wanting to visit Serbia. Our friend Terry, who fearlessly leads riding trips around the globe with good company, may have played a role in inspiring my dad to organize a riding trip in Serbia. My dad hired a guide, sorted out logistics, and set the dates. Fortunately, he likes me enough to invite me along. That, or he just likes my sister enough and she needed someone who could ride a motorcycle to lug her around the Balkans. Whatever the case, I left Belgrade, Montana at the beginning of September to fly to Belgrade, Serbia. Travel went smoothly overall as I connected with my dad and Pete at the JFK airport in New York for our final leg of the journey there. Pete may have booked a flight for the wrong day, so after getting that sorted out, we were on our way to Serbia to meet up with the girls, who flew in days prior to enjoy some time at the spa. We had a group of 10 total, including my wonderful parents, Terry and his lovely wife Annie, who I hadn't had the pleasure of meeting prior to this trip, my parents' friends Pete and Patty, our guides, Goran and his wife Radmila, and my sister and I. 10 people, 5 bikes, and 10 days of adventure ahead of us. I can happily and honestly say this trip exceeded my expectations in every way possible. I gained a deeper appreciation for what family means on this trip, developed new friendships, and strengthened existing ones. With our trip to Vietnam last January completely blowing my mind, I figured if this trip was half as good, it would be a win. Well, this trip was completely different, of course. Different country, different people, different bikes, and different culture, but I can barely begin to express how incredible this experience was as well, and I am so grateful that my parents gave me the opportunity to experience this with them. After a wonderful welcome dinner with Goran and Radmila, we got some rest before loading up our saddlebags for the adventure ahead. I was pleased to learn that we were riding Suzuki V-Strom 650s, as I was led to believe that we would be on older KLR 650s. My sister impressed me with her ability to not completely overflow the saddlebags. I did it! And we actually made our limited space work pretty darn well for the duration of the trip. Loaded up and ready to go, we embarked on day one.
Is it beer o'clock?
Sure is, let's go.
All right.
Morning, Mother.
Hi.
Are you ready for day 2?
I am.
Woohoo!
The second day of our trip started with some more beautiful riding through the countryside, and then we made a few stops at different historic sites with some scenic views. We went on a really nice scenic train ride before finishing the day on the bikes and arriving in Sarajevo. Here's a hilarious shot my sister got of me packing up my camera, frantically afraid I was going to miss the train. Now, I did have a problem when we arrived in Sarajevo. I was hangry. It is not often I find myself at that level, but I was upset and unpleasant. One more apology to everyone on the trip for my behavior. Boys gotta eat. After a delicious meal, I was rejuvenated and happy again, and Cambria and I stayed out to explore some local bars and listen to live music. One beer, just to say hey.
Tarps are optional, good buddy.
Tarps are optional, good buddy.
You stumbled a bit, bro.
I am a little stumbly.
What's up, Levi?
Hey, Shay. Tarps on for hotel entrance.
We done f***ed up, AA Ron.
We left our 60-year-old roommates with the keys because they go in the lights, but the key also goes in the door.
Uh-oh. But business hours are 0 to 24 every day. Hey, Ron.
Hello, we are outside our hotel, but we can't go in.
2016 hashtag is the password.
Thank you. How do you breathe with that thing on?
I don't breathe.
Miss Cost.
I exclusively breathe through my mouth.
That's the worst thing you can do.
I know, you've told me.
Ask Annie.
I don't need to.
I got the book.
Same wavelength, exactly.
All right, Cambria.
What am I going to do?
Our third day of the trip had quite a few surprises in store and was a really special day. We enjoyed a beautiful ride out of Sarajevo and into the unknown with some incredible twisty roads along with some absolutely beautiful rock formations and landscape. We arrived at a gorgeous lunch spot with some awesome waterfalls where we all earned the meat sweats as a result of this heaping pile of deliciousness. Just look at the passion Terry has for these French fries. After lunch, here is how aware Annie was that Goran had a surprise in store. Terry, you gonna ride with that toothpick? You look dangerous. We rode to the village where Annie's grandfather grew up, which caught her completely off guard and was a really special moment to be a part of.
I told the kids down there, I said, wave hello to your family.
Yeah.
The kids on the bridge.
Wow, look at this beautiful building. Sharon, that was the town?
Sharon, yeah.
Yeah?
Because even when we went through, is it Dragoncino, whatever it is, that's near here, that is where my grandfather was born, but this is where he was
really?
raised, yes.
Wow.
I was like, wait a second, I go Dragoncino, I go, that's where my grandfather was born.
And what was your maiden name again?
Pinu, but it was changed when they came to America because it should have an H and they put a V.
In America, all the itches end in ICH. Here, a lot of them is just IC, right?
Not IC. It looks like a C to you, but it's a letter Ch.
Ch.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is big. I mean, that's huge.
After visiting the memorial and seeing her family name up there, we hopped back on the bikes and made it to Mostar, where we would stay for the night. Little did we know just how much legwork Goran had done leading up to this trip to make it a special experience for all of us. And the days ahead had many more surprises in store. We explored Mostar, which was a beautiful town, before enjoying some drinks and cevapcicis, which is kind of a Serbian sausage. What do you think, Mom?
It's pretty damn good. I like Mom's better than these.
I like Mom's better too.
I think they're similar.
I like the green onions.
I like the green onions. Yeah.
Still fire though.
Sorry. That river, the water fountain, whatever it was. The waterfall.
The day was not over until my dad found himself an ice cream cone, so after enjoying some ice cream, we went to bed in preparation for day 4. You got music?
Yep.
You jamming?
Yep.
What are you listening to?
Justin Bieber.
Annie never stops smiling.
I know, she's great. Look how happy she is with music on. I knew she would be.
Oh. Our first stop of the day gave Terry the opportunity to talk about one of his very favorite things, rocks.
If you had a cake that, the water is coming through and making, it would make like stalactites if it
Flip it to the next page. Gotta try every new energy drink in foreign countries. After this stop, we continued on to ride through the village where the Paviches were originally from. And then Goran had an unbelievable surprise in store.
Dejan and his cousin came here to welcome us.
And whose house are we at?
This is Dejan Pecel.
Yeah?
Yeah, his Pecel. And you'll see Boško Pecel's house.
Yeah?
Yeah, right next to it.
You see, as it turns out, the Pecels and Paviches came from two villages that were only a few miles apart. But my great-grandparents, who migrated to the USA, never knew each other in Serbia. It wasn't until my Baba and Jeto, which is grandma and grandpa in Serbian, met in the USA that this crazy connection was made. Goran managed to track down our relatives on the Pecel side, who welcomed us with open arms as if we have been a part of each other's lives forever. They had been working on a complete family tree that my dad was able to help finish, and we got to see what remains of the house where my Baba's father grew up. They prepared an unbelievable meal that we shared together, and this was a truly touching experience. It really made me think about the value and importance of family, friends, giving, and sharing time together. This was a truly eye-opening experience, and seeing the joy that it brought to my dad was nothing short of incredible. Plus, as it turns out, Goran made many different trips to this area, knocking on doors and asking around to track down this extended family. After a seriously unbelievable afternoon, I spent the rest of the day on the bike, deep in thought at what we had just experienced. We made it to Trebinje, where my mom and Annie were feeling a little frisky and ready to go out on the town.
Where you should be seeing it.
Oh yeah. Mom's going straight back for seconds.
We are freaking awesome mothers.
Mom does a drunk cartwheel, I do drunk backflip.
That's actually really good. I don't have my.
Oh!
It's like.
It's over.
Mom, love you.
I like a nudge.
How you feeling today, Mom?
Great. I'm not going out with the kids anymore though. Oh, I would go out with her. She's going again? Shit, I gotta keep up with her.
Let's see those moves.
No cheese, no sandwich.
We have both of those things. Bella. God damn! Woohoo! That's a freaking castle. After a scenic ride along the Adriatic Sea and a few hours exploring Dubrovnik, Goran had yet another incredible experience in store for us. He found my Baba's first cousin, who is still alive and well, but was not part of the family that ever migrated to the USA, so he and my Baba never actually met. Once again, the welcoming we received was astounding, and despite the language barrier, we sat down and enjoyed a wonderful lunch together, sharing photos and making family connections. The little boy in this photo right here is this same man sitting right there. I never could have expected to have these family experiences on this trip, and it was a lot to take in all at once, but in such a great way. We hit the road once again and arrived in Budva, where we would spend a rest day enjoying some time on the beach. Nature! When the nature's so cool, you just want to go, wow, that's neat. Nature. We arrived at our hotel, and my biggest complaint was the terrible views from my room. We were pretty tired from the days of adventure, so we did what you might expect and went out on the town with some random guys we met from the UK. 1:57 a.m.
Baby.
Nope, they're just French fries.
From Turkish men.
Second time being locked out of our hotel at 2 a.m. on this trip. Those French fries were fire though. And my drunk ass is going to bed. The next day in Budva, Cambria and I went jet skiing and scuba diving before we all enjoyed a wonderful dinner together on the water for our last night in Budva. We left the following morning to head to our next destination, which was a rafting center on the Tara River. This day of riding was absolutely spectacular, with some of the coolest views and most absurd tunnels carved into the mountainsides that I have ever seen. We even got to do the Tara Canyon zipline, which is one of the largest ziplines in Europe. We were lucky enough to be able to stream the SMX race all the way down in this canyon, and that closed out our day, and we were excited to wake up and get on the river.
Well, I'm not drinking this whole bottle by myself. Oh. Hold on. We woke up to a stunning view and enjoyed coffee while Radmila played with this cute kitten before we hopped on the bikes to our final town before our return to Belgrade. After arriving, we got up to some group shenanigans, proving that old is nothing but a mindset, and Goran treated us to some of the most incredible Sundays we've ever had. I somehow managed to get this whole group to pose for an O-face ice cream photo. That concluded our final night together as Terry and Annie continued their trip on to Germany, and the rest of us went our separate ways home from Belgrade. This was an experience of a lifetime, and we created memories together that I will cherish for the rest of my life.